Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in. What is happening? We are back. We are streaming, and yeah, we're gonna just hop right into it. This is what we're doing. We got a mayor debate going on, little mini one. We're gonna go to it. We'll try to get there as fast as possible because I'm already late. So yeah, let's go. Let's get it. I'm driving like crazy apparently. Hopefully there's no cops about. Trying to get there before it starts. I have a feeling it's not going to start like right away, but I also just don't like being late for things, you know? That local just came out of that park. Don't even know who that was. There's another person trying to get there. That's funny, actually. Do not crash. Do not crash.
Hands-on training for real careers. Visit uti.edu.
Oh, cool. I don't have anything crazy on me.
A shop owner was getting calls from hackers trying to drain her bank account. When fraud...
Really? Oh my god. Alrighty, let's go. Let's get it. Actually, I am going to do this. Undo that. Now we're going to turn that all the way off, actually. We're just going to pause that. There we go. Really? My legs are too thick. Couldn't fit through the thing. Hello, hello.
All right, you're good to go. All right, hello.
That should work.
Me again.
Yeah, I gotta search you again, Callahan. Yeah, I'll have to just.
Never know if you're trying to be sneaky.
Think you should be good, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, buddy.
All right, sir,
Thank
just
you.
go ahead, put your hands up for me. I'm gonna have to place you in cuffs.
That's fine. I got it.
The least conventional way to pat you down, but
It is what it is.
you are not being stuck up here. This is not a robbery.
He's robbing me. He's robbing me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay. I just want
All
to
right,
make
you're
sure.
good to go.
Thank you, sir.
You gotta get searched. All right, go ahead, put your hands
Okay.
up for me, my friend.
Okay. I was concerned that they couldn't hear me. Maybe I'm just not fucking hilarious like I think I am. Maybe that's what it is. Oh. There's a lot more people here than I thought there would be, to be fair, especially after the last one.
No, it was like one of the muscle spasms when you're fishing.
Oh, trust me, fishing is a violent sport, my guy.
And
Oh, it's very, very wild.
he was very close to being unconscious, and I kind of just like comboed him and drop kicked him.
Yeah,
the
trust me,
prime rim
fishing
stereo.
gets a bit violent if you stand too close together.
I catch one more fucking skeleton, I'm throwing hands.
Leo knows about my thing.
to an.
Damn, can't even support his homeboy.
Say, Leo knows my M.
Who is Burger?
Son,
Where's
how
Burger
is your
Shop?
back after that, Leo?
Make sure to take notes.
Hey, if you have duplicated plushies, I'll buy you. I'm missing 4 to finish collections.
Which plushies are you looking for?
Right there, over there. It's,
I'm missing
Which ones are you looking
Over there.
for?
Right here.
I need a bucket
What
plushie.
plushies are you looking for?
Have you got a
I
bucket,
have
Snowy?
4 missing.
No.
Fuck, I need
I
a
have
bucket.
a Haley. I have a Seth.
A couple.
I don't see the person with the
I'm
food.
missing
Sorry, I
Jake,
know. I'm
somebody
just
else,
like
I'm not sure.
Can I
zoning
get
out.
food as well?
Glowy glasses.
Yeah.
Wait, are we getting paid charged for this? Is Seth not picking up the tab today? Unbelievable.
I don't think you can
Wait, is
afford
that? Are we? Do we get food from him? Do we get food from you?
Eduardo.
There we are. That's
Hello.
1,750.
Where you at, Eduardo?
I'm here sitting my
He's
throne.
on one on the
Do you
in the
have
posh
food?
chair.
Yeah, I do have food. What's your number?
Oh my god, there's a can. Who's put the trash can in upside down?
260.
I'm dropped.
How much food do you want?
Makes me stand up.
Just a drink, food and drink if you have both.
Stop kicking the can.
What's your number again?
260.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Anyone hungry?
Hello?
Did?
I'm hungry.
How much did you get?
What can we get?
I'm hungry.
Hold on.
I'm
There's
hungry
someone
for
from the other
dollar
party that
signs.
needs food as well. From you can.
Go. I told you this last time you were in. We don't do.
No.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's not good.
Look, it's not our problem. I'm
think
just the
I'm hungry
middleman
for
doing
is
If you
it,
don't
okay?
have coffee, then I'll take whatever I can get.
Kick him in the shin.
Sure, I'll
Echo.
get you a kebab and an e-cola. That'll keep you going.
Ugh.
What's your IBAN?
Fucking love a good kebab.
It has to
254.
be a greasy kebab with garlic sauce.
Oh yeah.
But it needs to be
You
after
got-
a good night out.
You guys
Yeah,
probably
we-
don't have
that
something
should
called
charge,
HSP,
yeah.
do you?
Oh, we have to pay for it this time?
Yes, because we lost nearly 6K
Harvey, I ain't no criminal,
last
you
time.
Oh,
bastard.
okay. You want a tip?
I ain't no
I'll always
criminal
take
either,
it.
Ivy. He's
Alright, but do you know what a
talking about.
HSP is?
Keep the
Wait, what?
change.
Have you
Sunshine.
heard of a
Oh,
H
You
HSP?
actually, that's far too kind. You didn't get your food.
Yeah,
Take.
fucking awesome.
I'm sorry, I made you say
Yeah, Ivy, there's not that many criminals in this room.
It's okay.
So, you know.
I call everyone a criminal, and you know that.
I'm not a criminal.
Yeah, we are not criminals.
I call everyone a criminal.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Exactly, allegedly.
Uh huh. I call everyone a criminal. It's just a thing I've always done.
I'm retired.
That's slander.
Sue me then.
It's gone now, so you know.
Huh?
Technically, it's could sue him.
I'm not paying for food, so fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No. They
Not at
did
those
one
prices.
because They lost 2 last time, if you remember, just before the debate, and they added Fox as a last minute change, and they didn't have anyone for their public services. So I assume that's their public services.
Wait, so where was Riley by the fucking...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh god, I'm glad you didn't take
Wait,
it.
so the party's just falling apart?
Well, by the looks of it, yeah.
I don't know.
Haven't
Yeah,
even
that
got
party-
there. At this rate, we're gonna have one for like 2 days, and that's it.
Mate, I'm just tagging along for the ride.
Hey, Harry,
Yo,
while I've got you, can I pick your brains real quick?
can you pick my brain?
There's not much to
Go through the eye hole. It's easiest.
There's not much to
Do
pick,
the
Snowy.
nose instead.
It'd be fucking fine. It'd be looking for a long time. Jesus.
I'll tell you what.
It's a party for
Fucking
the
hell,
people.
Eduardo
that
has
was
more than a brain.
Okay, I'll think
so,
about it.
like, everybody gets to
I
turn
like
up.
it.
No offense, Eduardo.
I mean,
Give me a ward. I like it.
What's that to me up?
Right.
Hello.
Eduardo, always sat in that chair.
Where'd you get the
What, sorry?
Why are you kicking your feet?
Go.
Hey, I'm missing four plushies. I'll buy plushies at $5,000. Hit me up, thank you.
No.
Guys, just to let you know, I will pay everyone $5,000 not to sell Eduardo any plushies. So just put that
Pay up right now.
we sell Eduardo.
I will
instead.
pay $2,000 to sell me plushies. Thank you, over him.
Yeah, I want my $5,000. I won't sell him one. Thank you.
I have two, but I'm not selling them.
How does my bunny?
I got Opie and
Hello.
I don't know, something to do with the cowboy
No,
hat.
I won't sell him one. Can I have $5,000, please?
The unknown.
It's either Tibbs or Deacon.
Any of them.
What's the oh,
So you said
which
that
one's
if
Harvey?
anybody doesn't
I
sell
might put
one,
another
you give
$500,000 in
$5,000.
plushies.
what'd you say, Natalie?
You guys need a casino opened up because you can't keep on gambling on plushies.
You said fi-
Why
You
not?
said 5,000.
Because what are you gonna do with them? You're gonna fill a whole room with them?
I can't take
What?
that.
There. They're just like
It's not a
STDs,
bad
gotta
idea.
catch them all.
Don't worry.
Okay, well you guys have fun.
Really,
I'm
it's
just
gonna
gonna wait
stink
for the
more
day
than
that they
that.
start appearing in bins or something.
No, it stinks more because you got Eduardo's feet pointing towards you.
Unless they're
Hopefully I
unless
don't
they're
run out of
ones that
food.
get
Howdy, how's it going?
No, I'm
So
simply gonna
CJ's
give him one
tags
to
and
myself.
money kind of
Because if I run out of food while sitting here listening to this shit, I'm gonna be mad.
Like, kind of,
I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
That's fine. You just got to be careful what you promise.
it kind of smells like Barney.
And that's not very good for somebody who's running for mayor.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why tips
Also,
aren't allowed
I want an
as a
ambulance
mechanic, to be honest.
Thank you very much.
You want tips as a mechanic?
I'm going to buy my own.
That's crazy. What?
No, yeah.
Eduardo.
No.
Do you
So,
have any more duplicates of Scammer Dempsey?
yeah, only engine swaps you do
I
labor.
think so.
Of the dinosaur.
I've got about 7
Yeah, I
of
think
them.
so.
Max
Okay.
wants one.
Oh, that's who the fucking dinosaur is.
Alright, see you later.
Tell him he can have
Buy
one
one.
free off me.
I don't have
Let's
one
see
at the moment,
if-
but yeah, it's my number on Twitter, so.
He's in
Okay.
city.
Man, I keep getting work calls.
You're not deaf!
Damn.
Someone has me, I'll pay you 10K. I'm being dead serious. If you have a duplicate, if you have a duplicate of me or you have one of me, I will pay you 10K. I don't care.
I did have one of you, but I sold it, unfortunately.
Why'd you sell it? I would have paid
I just
10K.
realised that
Alright,
they've
well,
actually got
give me
different
another-
People in these fucking plushies, bro.
So does that
Let's
mean
see what's
you're
going
one
on
because it's the people
Trendy. Bruh.
Because everybody is against
Man just
me.
posted like right now.
Stuck.
I'm a rare one.
Good first day. Someone told me to get a job, so I got a job.
That sucks.
Now the van's stuck.
What?
Good first day. Someone told me to get a job, so I got a job.
Lot lizard. Check it out. Lot lizard number 1. Lot lizard number 2. Lot lizard number 3.
I think those are just
Um,
drugged out hoes.
yeah. Okay, bye.
That's
This message is being sponsored by your superstore in Sandy Shores. Have a nice day. Hi, Bob Frapples here, business partial owner and all-round top geezer.
Going around on his mustache like that.
what is.
Can you see me? Jimmy. Jimmy. Is this thing on?
Fucking people, man.
Easy at this time of day.
Fox has stood there to check the vehicles.
You know?
Okay, so he's our savior after someone who you can see in the back over there decided to put our PD car
fuck is
in the ocean. Oh my god, look over.
Oh, don't tell me that just happened again. The new French curse? Yep. Bro. Bear with me, chat. That should not have happened. Whoa. Okay. I ended up having to quit out because something happened. I don't know. But there's a bug where you can't see your inventory and stuff anymore, and now I can't even get back in. This would be interesting. What is happening, bro? The fuck is wavelength? Bro. In that shit. I don't give a fuck about wavelength. No. Just shit's fucking happening and being stupid. I don't understand. Okay, I'm about to try to join back in, but like, bro. Okay, we might have it now. Okay. I don't know what the fuck, but like, bruh. Now I gotta download all this inventory shit again. Man. Luckily, we're just gonna pop right back in where we were. Oh, you know what? I may have been sitting for too long. Because I do have that AF. No, because it crashed. It didn't kick me for being AFK. So that wasn't it, obviously. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. I don't know if that counts as activity or not. I think activity means you have to like physically be walking. So I don't know. Not entirely sure. I do know I want to put the phone away. I want to look around real quick. They are being redliners. Yes.
It's all the logs I've been getting rid of in the woods.
Why do you go shooting in the woods, Natalie? What's wrong?
Oh shit! Is that a new boy band, Foreman?
Immediately went to shooting.
No, I
That
never
makes
said
a lot
about
more
it.
sense.
We're talking about logs. When you go log chopping down trees?
Yeah.
Okay, how about chopping down trees?
That's diabolical.
No, I'm pretty sure you're shooting in the woods.
No, that's Bob. That's you. That's why you lost all your weight. You went to go crafting one day and just thought, fuck it.
Is anybody handing out food? Is anybody
Wow.
handing out food?
She's strong.
I can't project it.
Oh yeah, I could definitely use some food right now. I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, definitely.
Me.
Right now. Yeah.
Not projecting our poop on me. Thank you very much.
What can we get you?
Just anything, to be honest.
Yeah, same here.
What's your IBAN?
Natalie, you're like 85 years old. I don't want to hear from you.
265.
I may have to buy food because this hasn't started yet. Then
Strong like bull.
Wait, pay that with ready.
Yep, done.
What the? My hand.
all right, I do need some food.
I thought we were all in sync then. There we
perfect.
are. That should go
Thanks.
into you. Brilliant. Have a great evening and enjoy the debate.
Alright. Can I have something to drink and something to eat? And my special number is 275. I'm just gonna check. Yeah,
I need to check that.
275.
Brilliant. 350 coming your way to pay.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Come on, Mark. Become one.
What do I think?
Join them up.
It's bye bye bike in the dances.
There we
Right,
are. That's all
you're
yours.
a legend. Thank you.
No problem. Enjoy the debate.
Let us know once you found it. It's nearly
What can we
Oh,
get you?
sorry about that. Anything is better than nothing.
Just need your IBAN and we'll get that ready for you.
288.
Well, at least Mac knows she can get it straight.
There we are. Pay that when you're ready.
Paid.
Amazing. Hold on.
one now. Three, two, one now.
Very strong clone.
I went too early. I keep thinking, dude. I think you're doing.
There we are.
Thank you, sir.
Not a problem at all.
Have a good day.
And you?
Okay, guys, we're gonna get started in a second.
So that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Everyone want to take the seats.
One.
Wait, we can take these seats home?
Yeah, that noise is making me want to go to the toilet.
Okay.
Oops. Or he's on the roof, one or the other.
What am I being questioned
sitting somewhere else. This is no, thank you.
I'll sit on this side so we can count people in.
Wait, is that fucking noise I'm hearing?
Hello.
Oh, thank God.
Hello.
It was the fucking water underneath us.
Is Mark pissed? What's he doing?
I know I don't, but I could take it home and when I get there, I could store it in my truck.
I was gonna see. I don't want to hear from Natalie. You're like 65 years old.
Damn.
Natalie, I heard you were gonna put in for retirement soon. Natalie, I heard you were gonna put in for retirement.
She really caught your
Old
eyes.
ass.
Who again?
You too old, Natalie.
Natalie's not retiring until she's 99.
If it makes you feel any worse, when I was in EMS, I was 19.
Damn.
I had this conversation with Harry the other day.
Wait, you didn't do her nipples sticking out.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
There is no way you just said that.
But go and look at her top. She's got a wardrobe malfunction.
That is
Wow.
She wouldn't dare.
Go instigate,
Paddles?
Natalie. Go instigate.
Sweet, I'm gonna get paddled later.
Mac, can you hear us from over there?
She obviously can't. It's quiet as fuck.
Okay, hold on.
Natalie, can you hear me?
Smithy deserves to be punched in the face. Just a heads up
Natalie has a
from what
loud
he just
mouth.
made.
I think he just
Stop saying things.
staring at my chest. So
Smithy's
Well,
looking at
he's
Mama
also
Mac's titties.
he's also just said about what
God damn, Echo.
Echo should have drawn it with the
Natalie has a massive forehead, apparently.
I don't have nipples out. He doesn't know what he's seeing.
What the fuck? It's what he wishes to see. That's what it is.
Statement of the day right there.
The thing is when Charlie said he was gonna get paddled tonight, he celebrated that. So
What? Hang on. I'm hearing
he said,
what?
yeah, that's exactly what was said. I had to sit there and listen, traumatized.
Fed from it. It was 65 years ago.
Smithy and
Because you don't get
It was more than 65. It was like I'd say more than like 100. Smithy's fucking prehistoric.
I'll leave that to them.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Mark.
Man had a dinosaur as a pet.
You're prehistoric, Smithy. He's old. He's old.
Smithy's 40.
Yeah, 40 times 3. What does that make it? 120. He's old as fuck.
I think he's gonna get punched from me as well.
Okay.
Mark is on one today.
Good evening, Los Santos.
Good evening.
Tonight, we hear the final debate from the two main candidates and their parties. From tomorrow, voting opens, and you guys get to decide the fate of this fair city and who is going to run and lead us into the future. Your current options are the W Party, run by Mr. Harry Wolfenstein, and the People's Party, run by Mr. Nate Jones.
Yeah, this week.
Really, we're going to get into why they want to make this city better, how they're going to make this city better, and then we're going to start digging into the changes that have come down to government and what they plan to do with it. Now, I am going to call both parties up.
Oh my God, why is my Discord losing its mind right now?
Come on, Barbie, let's go.
Wouldn't let me get into my ambulance, so that's why it's left there.
Yeah, I think that makes. Are we going to be good to use the microphone so we figured the button out?
Yeah, Callahan, you good with microphones? You had your pills? Okay, cool.
Oh, you couldn't turn the mic on.
And People's Party,
They were just mocking him, saying how.
are you guys good talking for Nate, considering he can't talk?
Say anything?
Oh, here he is.
Oh, he's awake.
May as well
So, you're all good. So, we're going to hear some opening statements from both parties again, just to reiterate their points and what they're standing for. Given the time, Mr. Wolfenstein, you want to start?
Sure can. So, just want to welcome everyone here to the final debate. I know this is it's a really important time for all of us, and I hope everyone makes their votes count tomorrow and this weekend. And then, Nate, thank you for running against me as well. This has been it's been a good run, and may the best mayor win. So just a quick run through about what we've been doing. I'm sure everyone's seen we've been posting large chunks of our manifesto since the last debate and before that. But we're a mostly policy-driven party. I think everyone's aware. No one's aware of the current financial situation. So our pure aim is to ensure that we've got viable businesses moving forward. We support the existing businesses, and we bring in specific policies to ensure everyone gets the correct say once the project is going through. So whether that be with PD, with EMS, our emergency services who do a great amount for this city, or this be down to the petrol stations, this be down to your average Joe who's running trucking. We need to ensure everyone gets their fair say, everyone has the option to speak up, and we provide those opportunities for them. You're all aware of our team. I will say this is one of the greatest teams I've had the opportunity to work in with this time. They've all done loads for their respective departments. We've had several meetings with members of the police departments, EMS, several business owners as well, and several civilians like yourselves. So hopefully you've all been able to introduce yourselves. If not, we're all available after this as well. We'd love to speak to you. But yeah, that's the team. I'm not going to go into full depth about what we do. I've bored you enough with that. And yeah, thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Now, Nate Jones with the People's Party.
Hello, my name is Nate Jones. The mayor candidate for the People's Party. This is very last second, so I apologize. I may be a little unprepared, and this is also not a great time for me. So if I do have to leave in a sudden, I do apologize. I do have some other stuff going on at the moment, but I will be a dedicated mayor.
I think he's got like personal stuff going on, which is
the city of Los Santos. I do appreciate
kind of crazy.
Mr. Harry over there for running against us. It truly has been a great run. And day one, we want to take a deep dive into the budget, right? Because we don't know what the numbers are. We want to open up some business applications for people to start applying for businesses, and we want to better this city. We, like stated before, we suffered a great tragedy, and we need to be.
He said we this time.
Our community from the ground up. And, that starts day one, hit the ground running and doing what we can to ensure that the city is safe, protected, and successful. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Now, we're going to get into the questions for both sides. And obviously feel free to have anyone come up from your party and discuss that point. Both sides are going to get the same questions to start, and then we're going to start getting into some of the nitty-gritty, some things that the public want to know about each party. So, something that was announced this week from the Supreme Court is the government's no longer going to be managing bonuses for the jobs of the fair public services in a city. It's going to be the mayor's party.
Interesting.
Now, with that in mind, you guys are going to have full control over who is getting paid what. Whether that's myself at PD, whether that is EMS and the directors over there or their trainees, whether that comes down to Burger Shop and the mechanics. You guys are going to have full control. Now, question for both sides, and I don't care who answers first, but please be respectful of the other answer before you answer, and then we'll let you guys pick apart each other's answers as well. How are you going to manage that? What's your thought process in making sure that, one, the city can afford to manage everyone's employment? And two, how are you going to make sure that it's dealt with properly in a public eye? You know, I'm sure the public here don't want someone getting favoritism, like maybe certain restaurants or PD or EMS, and getting far more than that they maybe should. So, who wants to answer first?
I'll get going on this one.
Okay, so how are you going to make it fair?
So I think the first thing to point out is, of course, yes, okay, we're not managing the bonuses, instead the full salary, but yet again, the amount that someone's getting paid, whether it was by the bonus or by the salary, the overall amount someone's getting paid is still, you know, being decided by ourselves. I think the overall cost is just larger to the government itself. One of the major points to point out is, yet again, we don't know the exact finances going through. I think I spoke to some people today. We had earlier on, it was about 6 PD and 4 EMS on at a time. At that cost, it's looking at about $160,000 an hour to manage, you know, just the private services at this point.
That's a lot.
Both the PD and the EMS. So that it's a very, very important.
No fucking way did I crash right in the middle of that. Come on, bro. What the fuck? Bro. Why the fuck am I crashing like that? Chad, I may have to end stream because if I'm gonna keep crashing, there's no point in keep going. You know what I mean? That is annoying. I don't understand why I'm crashing. And it's not like everybody's crashing because most people are still in there.
Created by each business equally. And of course, you know, PD, EMS as their own separate, because they're a whole different ballgame. You know, they put their lives on the line to help protect this city, and it is a very dangerous job. So we need to set standards, which will be available to the public. You know, we'll have our.
The worst part is I'm crashing. I'm not even doing nothing.
Our forum, you know, and of course, any concerns that you may have are always welcome to the mayor's office at any point.
Okay, I appreciate it. So I guess something I'll probably be a little bit nicer on initially is one thing I recommend for whoever wins is maybe having a discussion with the Supreme Court, because one thing that's always a danger is unhappy people, right? So, as an example, and I'll use PD as this example because, you know, I don't want anyone to think that I'm picking on any particular service within the city. But say you get into office,
smart,
and you set the wages, and PD decide that they're not happy with it, and they all go on strike. It's disastrous for the city.
It would.
So what I'd recommend for both parties is a discussion with DOJ about how best to avoid that. Is that something you guys are prepared for? Is it something you've thought about? Again, Nate James, you can start this one.
Yes. We definitely want to keep DOJ in mind. They are a very vital part of our community. So we will keep in constant contact with them, pick their brain a little bit, and, obviously work with them to help ensure that everyone is being paid fairly.
Okay. Harry?
Yeah, I think, keeping in touch with DOJ is something that is necessary in scenarios like this. However, I believe, DOJ isn't, aware of what everyone's thinking. I think, discussions of where, individuals such as members of the police department and EMS, that's going to be made more aware to, directors like yourself and directors of the EMS as well as, basic, restaurant operators, your mechanic operators. They're going to be the ones that hear it first. So within our program, where we've got these weekly meetings with each, department lead, we should be able to get an earlier jump on it. But we're also, we like to think that we'll be open enough. We've got those meetings available so that those that are concerned can have their, voices heard. We've had already multiple discussions with people as to why why they clock off duty, why they no longer want to work within each department. And luckily, I think at this point we've not had anyone mention salary. I do understand that this is something we'd want to bring up at some point. But I think DOJ, yes, it is something important to discuss. However, the people who truly know whether or not they're unhappy with these salaries are, the people in front of us today.
Okay, perfect. And I think just for clarity for the citizens of Los Santos as well, in terms of paychecks, if you haven't read the documentation, one big change about that is that regardless of where you are in a business, whether you're the owner of a business, whether you're training as part of that business, everyone will be paid the same. Now, that is something for the people to think about.
That's interesting.
And what they want from a political party to manage that, right?
I don't know if that. I don't know if people are going to be okay with that.
Moving on from salaries. Another point is public gas stations. So currently there is a set amount of gas stations within this city that are owned by the good citizens of Los Santos. And these guys are investing and looking to prosper with their new businesses. However, what was stated by the Supreme Court was that anything that was publicly owned will be able to be set by the government officials. Now,
it's true.
Again, since I asked Nate the last question, Harry's team, if you'd like to just talk about what are your plans for the public stations?
Yeah, so the public station is, of course, a major, not only income source, but it is also a major part of the economy. So it affects every other station, specifically the ones.
This will be interesting because both of them own gas stations and malls.
But, having these cheaper stations up north does mean business is reduced in Paleto and in Sandy, and also in the city. So our intention is, as we've already discussed, we're planning to bring a minimum and maximum fuel price. That way, businesses can still have internal competition, but they all remain viable. Within this, we're also then intending the public stations, specifically ones in Roxwood, will fall within the same system, mostly so they're not undercutting other businesses, so that business owners such as yourselves aren't being undercut and losing out on business. So that's our full intention with these public stations, is to keep them in line with that system, allow yourselves to be able to undercut these stations, but then also not to have them overcharged to the point where it's not affordable anymore.
Okay.
I will quickly pass over. Oh, sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
going to
no,
pass
go on,
over
you
to
can
my
pass over.
Department of Transport as well. So,
Yes, hello everybody. Just to quickly clear up, I am wearing the mask because I've got a bit of a cold. I just quickly wanted to touch on the gas stations as well. I think we should see the public gas stations as a baseline. If the gas stations up north are cheaper than the rest of the gas stations, obviously people are going to go up north. If they are more expensive, people are going to go to other stations. So we're going to definitely try to set them at a place where you could still undercut them. You could still be cheaper than the gas stations up in Roxwood, and you could still make money from gas stations. However, if you decide to raise the price too much, it might get to a point where it's more expensive than the ones up north, and people might choose to go to the ones up north. So with that public gas station price, we want to set a baseline to the point where it's still a viable option. There's a lot of people who live up there. Obviously, there's a mechanic up there. There's going to be a restaurant in Polito. Those things, they need to have the same accessibility to gas that anyone else has. But it has to be at a price where it's not undercutting any of the other businesses or taking away business. What Harry just mentioned. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, Nate Jones.
Yes. So we definitely want your businesses to be successful. As a business owner myself, I like to be successful in my business. Now, with that being said, we want to make prices fair, especially for these public gas stations, right? We want you guys to be successful. We don't want to undercut you guys. We don't want to.
The problem with both of these guys is
make
they
you
don't
guys
have
to
the
lower your
capability
prices
of
so much
commanding
that you're
the
not
room.
seeing profit. Now, we do want to keep in mind that when people are traveling. When people are traveling through these areas, we don't want them to have high price fuel as well. If they do happen to pass a public gas station, but we want to make it to where it's fair and equal for everybody. Obviously, we want to make sure that you guys are able to have those customers be like, oh yeah, I want to use this gas station. One of the ones that you guys own. So we want to make it fair for everybody, not just one business, but all businesses. And ensure that everyone is being successful.
Okay. Anything further or good? Cool. Now, first 2 points are covered. Next, we're going to talk about exporting. So one thing that was also mentioned from the Supreme Court is that the government will be allowed to buy essential products that are built out of foundries and farms of this fair city that you guys are running and trying to build businesses of. And I know there's been a lot of struggles and a lot of troubles with trying to find exporters that will take your stock. So, to the parties. And again, I'll start with Nate for this one because we started with Harry last time. But what are your plans to make sure that every business in this city, whether it's a foundry, whether it's a farm, gets a fair price for the stock for the amount of effort that they've gone to one, procure it, manufacture it, and then transport it?
So we definitely will have some things set in place to make sure that businesses are not, apologies. Man, sorry. We will definitely have some things in place, right? I'm going to turn this over to our Department of Business, actually. I do apologize. I'm having some head issues.
Hello, his name's Deacon Sweden.
You need to use the microphone.
Too much.
Your microphone.
Hello, is it on now? It was on. Hello.
Yeah.
You're good.
Hello, name's Deacon Sweden, Department of Businesses. Like I said, we will have monthly audits on stuff, make sure, price gouging is going on, stuff like that. Make sure not one business is charging a stupid high amount for a product, to be sold. Like I said, things set in place, like audits, make sure everybody's kind of staying in line. Yeah, there may be a couple of variants in prices, but nothing outstanding, like staggered prices, like one selling it for 3 times as much as the other one. So everybody gets fair shot at businesses and getting their stuff bought.
Harry?
Yeah, so first off, I'm not going to say the Supreme Court was copying me, but during our previous debate, we'd actually mentioned that we were planning to support the foundries and the farms by providing a sum to buy products off them in a very similar fashion. So with the addition of this, this means we can fully expand on this program now and bring in a larger amount of products and fully support these farms. I'm not going to go into details of what price we buy things in at, what price we're going to be selling things at yet, purely because no one knows the exact values. But I think this is going to be a wider conversation that will be held between ourselves and the business owners themselves for 2 reasons. To ensure that these owners are getting a viable income so that they can continue operation and they will see a return on their investment, but also B, that we can see that our city is running as it should be, of course, with the large costs that come with the city, whether that be utilities, whether that be through the emergency services and more. It is incredibly important that we do get this income through the sales of goods. And I can see it, with our amazing owners out there and the amazing foundries and farms we got, that this could be a really good income source for both them, but also the city to ensure that we can improve, grow on these projects. So I'm super excited to see this. I'm super excited to see neighboring countries are willing to import our goods. It just speaks testaments to the work all of these people have been putting in. But yeah, in terms of the exact costings, I'm not gonna, we don't know, but it's going to be a wider conversation we'll have with all business owners. I'll deep dive into every single item with them, figure out their costs, and then go from there. As you've seen with them all, we've known what the import costs are on that. We export them. We've kept a good price on that end. We expect that to continue with the farms and the foundries here.
Okay. So that's some of the latest changes. Now let's talk about some other things. Through the week, there's been lots of questions and concerns raised by the citizens of Los Santos about both parties. So now we're going to get into some specifics. So, Mr. Wolfenstein. From the citizens of Los Santos, there has been talk that your party may be belittling and trying to point out flaws with the other party in a very unprofessional way through social media. What's your thoughts on this?
I'll be honest with you. If the other party can't take, fun jabs or people can, then, I don't know what we're quite here for. There's been no belittling. We've actually been very supportive of the other party.
That's not at all true.
We've had multiple discussions
not at all
with them,
true.
Post last debate. I'd like to be able to say the other party are friends of ours. So, if you guys have seen that, we do apologize. I know, there was a statement released. We don't mean any belittling. We truly hope that both parties can move forward in a constructive way. We only provide constructive feedback where we can. As you've seen from the last debate, there were plenty of jabs sent around from both parties. I don't think it's limited to just the one. I don't think there's much really to go on about. It's a nil point.
Okay. Nate Jones.
They were, for sure.
For
sure,
for your
slandering.
party then. Over the last week, again, citizens of Los Santos have questioned some of the changes in your party. We are a week in. We haven't even got to voting yet, and we had 2 people drop out, 2 new people join. How do you know these are the right people? Because at the end of the day, surely these are your second picks, considering your first ones decided that they didn't want to be part of your party any longer.
that is correct. We did have two people drop out for their own personal reasons. Now, just because two people dropped out doesn't mean there's two people just as good. The people that were selected to fill in
Not
for them,
wrong. Good way to put that.
are equally as good and equally I trust in. I don't trust each one of them differently. I believe in both of my new additional party members, and I believe they will do just as great as the previous cabinet members.
Okay. Now to both parties. This is arguably the most important week of your life.
Yep.
So what have you been doing to secure those votes?
We'll start on that. So, yeah, I think that not only is it the most important week of our lives, but it's the most important week of this entire city's life. The decision that's made this weekend is probably the most important election we'll ever face. Following elections, this is what sets the foundation. This is what sets up the next parties that come in. So this is the most important election we'll face. We've made it very clear we're very open. We've been meeting with multiple business owners, members of the emergency services, whether that's, we've had gatherings or we've, met on the streets. We've met multiple business owners and we just socialized within the crowds. We've also, been talking to several artists. We've actually had a song created by some up-and-coming artists that we hope to release. We'll probably send some trendies out later today with sections of it.
Yeah, that song is
just
slander.
Really trying to hear what the people wanted. Been speaking
That song
to
is
them.
fucking
working,
slander
trying
all
to
the way
figure
through.
out,
I heard it.
What's needed. What are people losing? As I said, we spoke to the emergency services and asked them, well, why do you clock off? We've tried to figure out what we need to enter with and what's the very first things that need addressing. So it's really been okay. Yes, the election's this week, but it's almost as if we've been in office for a couple of weeks now, just trying to get things in place for the start of it.
Okay, Nate Jones.
Yes, this is a very important week. This week will determine the next 3 months of the city's future. I do believe, this week will. I mean, honestly and bluntly, this week will determine a lot. And one of the things we've been doing this past week since the last debate is, we've had a few meetings here and there, but we've been talking to the people. We've heard the people's concerns. We've been going around to different businesses. Just last Sunday, I actually went and paid for a bunch of people to repair their vehicles. Not a large amount, but just to show some courtesy among the people. And before the debate, the first debate, I actually went and bought a gas station's gas and was giving out free gas as part of my campaign. I wish I could have done it with more businesses. Just time hasn't allowed, unfortunately. But with that being said, most importantly, we've been talking to the citizens and hearing their concerns, hearing what they'd like to see changed, hearing what they'd like to see implemented, and setting ends for when we're in office to help better the city.
Okay.
Not a bad answer.
So, circling back to something that was mentioned, which is businesses. Now, both party leaders actually own and manage the two city malls. How do you think that's going to impact your mayoral party?
Yeah, that's the big question.
I'll start there. So the mall at the moment isn't super high maintenance, but Bob, who's down in the crowd today, he has been taking a much larger role within that. He does stocking, he fully manages it, as well as we've got multiple other employees that work with us. So on our end, it doesn't really affect operations. We've kept very fair with the store. In fact, we've done our best to help local businesses within it. So it's not really going to affect us. The mall is simply something that runs in the background, keeps my lights on. But yeah, we've got other people running it, so it's not a major concern.
Okay. Hey, Jones?
Honestly, same here. We have a great staff of employees that are stocking the store constantly, um, talking with customers, and I don't think it'll affect being in office. It is something, when
Yeah,
I
you're not
hired
wrong.
the employees that I did, we found great employees. They're there all the time, uh, stocking as
Excuse
much
me.
as they can, keeping up with the store
But
to
I'm
make
pretty
sure that we're
confident that if
providing
they were
great
doing
service
that,
out
they'd
of
be
it.
called out on it really, really, really quickly.
Okay.
Because if you think that one party, the
Now,
party
I'm
that
gonna
loses,
I'm
isn't
gonna
going to
give both
watch
party leaders
the party that wins like a hawk,
something a little
crazy.
harder to discuss. Nate
They're going to
Jones,
watch them.
it might be said from the people that you've spent more time trucking and managing your business than you have running a political party. What would you say to that? You want to turn your microphone?
Sorry, I do apologize. Um, you know, I am a businessman. I do run a business. I need, at the end of the day, I do need to make sure that my business is running, right? But I have spent a great deal of time campaigning, and even in between trucking, I'll stop, see the occasional trucker, see the occasional customer, and talk to them, you know, because this city is full of great people, and in between the truck jobs, in between the customers, I have great conversations. You can probably ask anybody that has seen me at the trucking office. I always ask them what their opinion is. So in between the campaigning, yes, I have been running trucks. At the end of the day, I do have a business to support. But in my absence, my business will be prosperous, as I previously stated. Um, but in between all of that, I do take the time to talk to the people, hear the concerns, and still campaign between all of that.
Okay. Now, Harry Wolfenstein.
So,
no,
oh yeah,
that's not your question. The question I've got for you. I've been talking to the fair people of this city, just before I come up here, and something was brought to my attention is that you're doing backroom deals with, preferred clients, such as Mr. Ralph Butcher. How can we guarantee you're not going to do that while you're in office?
So, if this in regards to the mall, these backhand deals have been open to anyone. So these are in relation to power cells and oil in the mall. They've been open to anyone who's bought a refiner from us or a drill from us. So it isn't a backhand deal. It is very, very open. We do it with multiple other business owners as well. It just so happens Ralph buys for some reason a couple thousand batteries a day. But yet the same deal stands for everyone. I'll say it here. If you want to come down, we sell oil and power cells for cost. It's just a $2.5 grand delivery fee. Bob manages that. He absolutely loves me when I say it. But yeah, if you need it, it's fully open. There's no backhand deals. Yeah, no issue.
Interesting.
Okay. Now, both parties do involve people that are current business owners, members of emergency services. Again, how are we going to make sure that everything your party does is going to be fair and balanced for this fair city? Either side can answer first.
Yeah, so I'll let you go if you need.
Thank you. So a big part of that is transparency. I mean, as I stated in the previous debate, this is a team effort. So yes, we may have one person over a department, but at the end of the day, it's a team effort, and we hold each other accountable. I mean, the people behind me are great individuals and very intelligent individuals. I believe that each one of us will hold each other accountable to make sure the right thing is being done, make sure the right reports are being checked. I mean, we have to work together to ensure that the city stays great and make sure that sorry, I had a bit of a mind blank there.
Okay, guys, you've got a little bit of stage fright.
Yeah, sorry. To be honest with you, I haven't spoke publicly before. I know that may sound, but I'm human, right? But back to the question.
Good way to flip that.
We want to hold as much transparency with the citizens of Los Santos as possible, and to make sure that we keep each other accountable, we will work as a team day after day to make sure we are successful in the mayor's office.
It was decent recovery.
Okay, perfect. I'll step in here. So we've already discussed it last week, but we've got two systems in place upon multiple others. But the two major systems we got is the open and honest finance system. So this includes a weekly finance deep dive every week that goes into our starting income, what we've ended the week with, and what our expenses have been, as well as any projects that are upcoming. We've also already created a document that will be available for all. Within this document, it basically details every single expense we've had outside of the salaries, mostly because that will just automatically go for what we believe. Within that, we'll keep track of every single income source. It will show you where we got it from, how much has come in. So you guys, everyone's fully open, everyone's fully aware. And then if there is anything that's going out and there's no reasoning behind it, we can easily be picked up on it. We've also got the open meeting system. So within this, there will also be another document which has every single meeting we've got. This is a system that will allow individuals that are concerned.
See, they say
to have
this,
their voices
but there's
heard.
no
So
guarantee that
should
it'll
we have a
happen.
meeting
Because they could schedule a meeting off the books.
With business owners, and there is someone concerned, as long as they've got a valid reason, they're able to come into those meetings and make their point heard. So the full intention is to have this as a fully open and public viewing platform, so that citizens like yourselves can perform audits on us if you truly believe that we're doing something dodgy, but can fully see what documents we got there. And at the end of the day, if anyone's even concerned about those, we do have DOJ, whose sole job as well is to uphold our standards. So if you believe that we're failing there, you've also got the DOJ, which you can step to, and I will happily step down if you see anything on that side.
Okay.
Guess it's time to eat my food.
Either party got questions for the opposing party at this present moment in time?
I'm going to let Mr. Miller speak.
Alrighty, I'll start off with quite a simple question, I guess. Obviously, maybe you've seen me noting down some stuff because I just like to listen to see what people have to say. Now, I would like to bring up that before, when you were asked about your businesses, if it was going to be a problem if you were to be elected, and you mentioned that the business kind of runs itself with the mall and everything, and people, help you with that. But then not only one question later, when you were asked that people were worried about you spending more time trucking or running your business or keeping your business afloat, you mentioned that in between the trucking, obviously because you have to keep the business afloat, you talk to people. So my question, I guess, on that matter is, does that business run itself, or does that become an issue whenever you are elected?
So with the mall, right?
It's a good question.
I don't see a problem, right? I have put a lot of time and effort into the business to make it run itself. Of course, I mean, no business truly runs itself. It's down to the hard work and dedication of each employee, which, are all great people that we've employed. They are hardworking. So in my absence, my business will run. Now, there may be time to time, right, for any business owner that you have to, answer a question or two or maybe step in. But that will not take away from the work we will do at the mayor's office.
Good
And I
answer.
want to extend on that. So, if you are going to stay as a managing position within that mall, is that going to potentially cause any, I guess, favoritism towards the mall business?
I mean, you could ask the same question of your party.
Prices, maybe importing prices, suppliers.
See what
all
I
that
mean?
sort of
Like,
stuff.
No. Every business is equal. I mean, just because I'm a business owner doesn't mean that I will make things easier for me. At the end of the day, everyone wants to be successful, not just me. So we have to keep prices fair for everyone, and we've already set things in place manager wise at my mall to make sure that my that is being taken care of. But we will not be making things easier for me to make things harder for other people. I don't believe in that. That's unfair to the great citizens and the
I
hardworking
mean, even
business
if he
owners.
did, it would also benefit
Um,
Harry's mall.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool. Any questions from Nate's side to the opposing party?
I think we're all good.
Okay.
Bad idea. Should have at least
Oh,
responded
another
with something.
question from Harry's side.
I'm just full of questions. I like asking questions.
Here we go.
I think we can all agree here today that the mayor is a very important position, and there's a lot of duties that fall under being a mayor that I would even consider standard in most cases. Now, my question to the opposition party here at the moment is: could you maybe name something or find something or explain to me one thing that you stand on doing or is a plan that you plan to do that would not consist of your standard mayoral duties, and that's concluding talking to the people, getting to hear their concerns, managing the prices, making sure it's fair for everybody, nobody out here wants to get scammed, making sure that people have can afford to live and have a normal day-to-day life and can be successful. What would be something that differentiates you?
So
you should
I
have.
believe that everything that a mayor does is part of his daily duty. I mean, the sole purpose of a mayor is to make sure that the city is taken care of. Now, being different, we want to be transparent. I mean, I don't want to bring up the past, but I mean, we want to be a more active government. We want to be a more transparent government than the past. And
It's a good way to bring up the past without bringing up the past.
sorry, stage fright.
He's dealing with like personal shit right now, which is interesting. But
every role, every task, every job is all a part of the mayor's office. Now, as far as programs that we'll have differently, I would say that. Oh, shit. Sorry. I would say that we.
there's no real way to answer that question because he's basically asking if he would go above and beyond, but not giving examples of what he would consider above and beyond. Does that make sense?
If I picture them in their underwear, everything will be okay, right? Sorry.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Okay.
do that after looking at that picture of Mac on Birdie.
That is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy.
So the main thing is that
Now I have to see if there's actually a picture.
we
of
have
Mac
never
on
run
Birdie.
for office, right? So we're still trying to figure things out. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we want to ensure everything is equally. And there is a lot of things that we'll have to figure out day one in office, right? Now you talk about all of your fancy meetings and this and that, but I mean, my question for you, I mean, not to throw you off of this question, how dedicated are you to make sure that these meetings are happening? I mean, how can we trust that you're going to do the things that you're saying that you're going to do?
Exactly. That's kind of my whole point.
I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously, I'm not the mayor here. I'm just Department of
Right.
Transport. But I think the main important thing is we are a team. Any decision will be made by all of us, no matter what it is. And the most important thing is like you mentioned yourself, right? It's being there for the people, showing up, being prepared,
Right.
and having a plan ready. And I think when it comes to the dedication and activity of our party, we have to uphold a standard that is higher than any of before or after, because this is the first term where the standards and the foundations need to be laid for the future. And whether or not you maybe instantly agree with all of it is obviously the question. But I do know one thing is that we all have a great passion for this. I'm the Department of Transport, not because I like to be the Department of Transport, but it's because I have a passion for not only cars, but any form of transport, vehicles, whatever you can call it. We want to get things sorted the right way. If I'm looking behind me, there's a team full of people who have dedicated a lot of time and effort to a lot of these things. We've built up plans. We have had meetings on our own. We have met meetings with the business operators, the public services, like Harry has
I had
already
to shame
mentioned.
Kendrick for a second.
There's all these things that push us even harder to make sure it gets done well, even though there is concerns by our party. And I think, if that goes for both ways, that's just something that has to be done. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Okay. Thank you for both parties. We'll take a quick couple of minute break if anyone needs any food. And then what we'll do is we'll probably pick a couple of questions from the audience, not too many because we want to keep this fast. However, it's always good to throw a spanner in the mix, and then we'll have closing statements from both parties.
Okay, so not too long then.
Starving people down the front, we got you. Oh, we still got like. We should be good. Right. We get ya.
I do like how halfway through it he goes, oh,
What's your IBAN?
Commit to running these meetings as well. You didn't turn me off.
Apparently Burger Shot were here, but I guess not.
Let me try to call Kendrick. I doubt he's online, but
your call.
nope. Damn shame.
It's all a conspiracy.
Yeah. That's a video. Oh, that was my video of the guy who blew up my fucking delivery truck.
Is the voting opening and ending this weekend?
I believe so.
Right. That's actually pretty quick. I'm guessing voting opens tomorrow, ends on Sunday night.
I'd assume so.
And then I'm guessing that the draw will be held on Sunday as well.
Eduardo, get your ass up. I'll take half of this off.
Usually, I mean, it's usually straight after, right? Let me.
I'm just really interested to
confirm.
know. I'm just extremely interested to know how long it will take before DOJ is opened up. Got to get that bar license.
Gotta get that bar license.
And I'm gotta fucking work my ass off to get into the DOJ and make sure that runs properly.
I have a question for the candidates. Don't know how many people you're going to pull up, but
You're always welcome.
Love the tie, Harry.
Especially when you got them glasses on. God damn.
Yeah, man.
Bro got the fast glasses.
Come to me, please.
You know, I've had these glasses for like 5 years.
I mean, you should actually get some. You should grow some facial hair, dude.
That's
Like,
a lot
you
of
look
people
like
that need
shaved
food.
bum.
What you should do is wear masks.
That's crazy.
Like a what? I've got a bit of a bit of stuff
I mean,
coming through.
no, Smithy, you gotta hide that chin.
Nah, it's fine. It's just
How
my head's too small.
how are you not overweight and still have a triple chin?
Damn, that's
I don't
just
have a
fucked up.
triple Chin.
You do.
Nah, it's just manly
Look
chin.
at me. I'm chiseled. I have the crimson chin.
You want to be stylish. Leo,
You
what's
see,
your
Dog the
you see,
Bounty Hunter.
this guy knows how to grow a beard.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool. He looks like a wrestler or something.
No, he looks like
Who's
an
up
80s porn
next?
star.
No, that was a big moustache, wasn't it?
No, no, no. That was definitely the sideburns.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch
No,
porn.
you can have to
You
go
just
for-
gave yourself
No.
away there.
You don't
What the
watch
fuck
porn,
is
you
this
just star in it.
conversation?
You just gave yourself away there.
Smithy, you don't watch it, you just star in it.
What the fuck is that conversation?
Maybe if you take
Hey,
your shirt
Smithy.
off, I can take a picture.
Hey, Smithy.
Wait, what the hell?
You know what? Let me just.
Hello.
Since you only star in it.
275.
I need at least somewhere to start.
Chat, does that sound any better on the mic? I don't know.
75.
Okay, Bob. I'll work on it.
Uh,
Yep.
It's gonna be 50,000 though.
Hello. What's your number?
Sir?
301. Yep.
Alright, you work for MS.
let me look at my skills actually.
You work for MS.
301.
What the fuck?
Your
You're a changed
IBAN's
man.
definitely 233, right? Because I've
Yep.
not got you on my
I can only give one food, one drink at the moment, so. And I do have to double charge you though. That's okay.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little underdressed here.
Yeah. There you go. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Next, what's your number?
That's crazy.
What's your number, sir?
281, hold on.
You made me into a magician.
287?
I like it.
F&D 350 when you're ready.
Hey, where's
I'm
Burger
always
Shop?
Oh God, Ralph's here.
Okay, been
I'm
charged.
McGonagall it.
Where's
Oh, Slim
Nah, I'm
Shady
not.
arrived.
One.
he's absolutely
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
know. That's exactly why I
Hey,
didn't come.
Ralph! Burger Shop's over here.
Where's Burger
a
Shop?
lot. No food,
What the fuck?
Next.
Oh my god. Oh, it's this
What's your
queuing.
number?
no food and drink.
I like
ID
this one.
309.
309, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
It's okay. It's the only reason why I've come.
I come over here so I can use your birthday. What's your number?
Did Ralph just say he showed up just for the food? I wonder. I don't know if they can hear
What the
me.
hell? Echo, you're so strong.
Holy shit!
What the fuck happened to your face?
Get him out.
Yep.
247.
Who's
She's
next?
not even like sweating. She's just
didn't
holding.
Echo really been hitting that gym.
No.
The only person sweating here is you. Hurry, you big pervert. You've been sweating.
What's your number again?
Picture and burly.
I'm curious on if they can hear me. They should be able to hear me.
What the fuck?
What
my
are you
God.
doing?
What's your number, Arthur?
Seth, why'd you order a sideways?
Evil. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem, have a great evening.
There you go.
Eduardo, how many kebabs?
I mean, the guy. Well, I did crash since
Hey,
then.
does anyone want a plushie?
292, hold on.
Yeah, okay, good.
Get it.
What the fuck? She had two
Front
massive
over
air
there.
brakes that'd make her
The
a
bucket
really
one.
bad rocket.
Oh, no.
Come on, Mark.
That's
It's almost as bad as
What's your number? Nothing?
Fuck this Smithy say.
Yeah, what's your number?
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah,
and that he was
best
just
way about it,
staring,
cuz.
And then when Charlie said that she was gonna paddle him, he got all happy that he was gonna get paddled.
Jesus Christ.
no problem, have a great evening.
Uh, 1 4.
Stop looking for bucket now.
There you go.
What are people throwing at you? Did you just get, I think you just got $50. Just to...
What's your number, Rolf?
205, I think. Yeah, 205.
Sure, it's 201.
Nah, I'm
Damn, Harry, you been hitting the gym too?
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't know if they can hear me.
Stop throwing things on the stage, please. I don't think it's that. Double check it's not 2634.
Sweet. Lovely, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Ralph.
There we are. 350 when you're ready.
Hey.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Seth.
Next.
One food and drink.
What's your number?
We'll let these queues get down and then we'll start again.
To what side?
What can we get ya?
Hello, Harry.
Hello.
You didn't have my
come down. I'm grabbing food as well. I'll come down.
In the floor, I think I'm jumping over the seat.
Are you guys throwing things in my dome? Are you throwing things in my
Can you see
dome?
my phone down there?
I've
No
got
problem.
a toothbrush with your name on it. You'll be scrubbing the floors.
Drop my phone.
Hello.
down.
Back to get food.
Someone dropped my phone
What's your
under the
number?
seat.
260.
My phone is gone under my seat. Can anyone see it down there? Okay.
297.
Wait for Harvey. I'm gonna have Harvey come up.
There you go.
I'm trying to find my phone. Oh, there it is.
Can we have EMS to the stage, please, with a potential broken nose?
Yeah, why do they make them
EMS to the stage, please.
No problem.
Ice cream will make it better.
Guys standing in EMS uniform, that's you guys.
All right, I need food, please, sir.
We've only got fries at the minute. Is that okay?
That's fine. I don't need a whole lot.
You can charge him to
It's all right,
14. I
man.
got drinks.
297.
There you go.
Thank you.
You know what? I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, 300 for you.
Awesome. Paid.
What's your number? Problem?
297.
Yeah.
So as I understand it, you wanted to have a word with Nate. were
You
hoping
asking
to
me
speak
that
with
or
him
someone
after
else?
the debate?
You. There we
184.
There's
I'll make
fries.
sure that he's
Appreciate
aware
it.
that,
Give it to me.
provides
No
for
problem.
a
Have a
little bit
great.
of his time.
You too.
I don't think that he should be in that big
Sure.
of a hurry, but what is it
184
about that
is
way?
water.
If we do end up with
Wait,
him,
I didn't get them.
then one of us can sit down with you, hopefully.
Did you
and say,
not?
No, I did not.
No, you give it to me. Sorry, Edward.
He stole my fries.
What's your number again,
if I
Harvey?
may. Drama queen.
You are?
What's your number?
There we
again,
go. Thank you.
There we are. No problem.
Hey,
Yeah.
Natalie.
Fry thief.
No.
Okay, so that tells me that they can hear me. So there's that.
Oh, my nose. God.
I got 8 kebab, well, 7 kebab for the price for two.
Apparently, I'm just not as fucking funny as I think I am.
With
Mm.
the rest of people.
Can I pick up? Oh, I was hoping you could pick up the seats.
But so that the government itself as well is not sitting there hemorrhaging money supporting the people. We have to balance it. It's a very fine balancing act. Sorry.
I know, right? I'm
Okay.
fucking hilarious.
He broke my nose.
Hey, I'm missing 4 plushies. I'll buy $5,000. I want to finish my collection. Thank you.
What did I just come back?
You don't need plushies. It's okay.
Eduardo, no one cares about your fluffy toy collection.
Imagine a grown man begging for plushies.
Wow.
Okay.
Did it again. I just got the fucking French curse again.
Everyone take positions.
Yeah, your special number.
Wait, maybe I didn't.
Of course you would ask that, Smithy.
I did, because I don't see my fucking whatchamacallit either. So I do that, now I can't get out of it. Ah, damn, bro.
There you go.
That French curse is annoying. It's the new French curse. Alright, we're gonna see if I can't get back into it. Give me 1 second. Shit is annoying. Weird. That's weird. Because I have an error up on my screen. But it's loading. I don't know what the fuck that was. That is beyond annoying. For that to just happen a lot.
For me, you know, I greatly love this city. I greatly love the people in it, and you know, being
Damn.
able to help this city and start its fresh, clean slate, and build something great, uh, is cake in itself, right? You know, I wanna see the city prosper. I want to see its citizens prosper, and you know, we have to do that by building a strong foundation. And I believe that is
stupid.
something that not only me but my team,
I knew it
great
looked
team
weird.
behind me, is all willing to do.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Okay. Next up, let's go.
Thing. There we are. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
press a button, old man.
Press the button. Can you hear me? Test and check the mic. One,
Yes.
two. Okay. This is to the People's Party. What do you think? Message do you think? Paying for people's repairs and paying for people's votes, basically in businesses.
See, I knew
set
that
to
was
achieve?
Bob
Is
was
that,
gonna fucking plant
the message
questions
you're trying to send out that
because he's in
democracy
cahoots
solves
with
the
fucking
problem
Harry.
rather than party politics.
No, not at all. We were just doing that out of the kindness of our heart, and you know, spreading the good word. You know, encouraging people to vote, and that was our main goal. Just encouraging people to vote, spreading our good word of, you know, the People's Party, what we're about, what we want to see in the city.
Okay, it stinks of bribery to me, buying votes. Okay, sorry, I just find that the worst part of the policy.
He's just
Okay,
unhappy he
thank you.
didn't get a free repair, isn't he?
Hey, is this thing working?
Yes.
Great. It's a question for both parties when it comes to the state of choosing people for different positions.
He was.
Of course, at all
Harry was doing
times,
the same shit.
some bias is good when it comes to choosing the right person for the job. But how would you go about picking somebody out to run a business?
Excuse me.
Yes, I'll start here. We've already in our early manifesto released some guidelines as to what we'd expect from a business owner. You know, in terms of the business plan, you know, what we expect that person to do. I think experience does come in hand, but I think also someone who comes with the correct plan that produces a viable business, someone who, you know, can prove that they know what to do, have already put in the commitment, is the most important thing here. Of course, there is going to be some sort of reliance on just that paperwork ahead of us and, you know,
Bro, this is
one-to-one
gonna take
communication
forever.
with
All
them.
these people got questions
But
and
then
shit.
also discussions outside of that as well, talking to existing business owners, talking to, you know, the emergency services, DOJ, you know, their previous record, seeing where we can go from there. That's going to help us massively pick who goes for each role, but it's really down to the applications and ensuring everyone has that fair opportunity. It's going to be a 4-person process deliberating who gets each business, but that's the starter is just that business plan. To note as well, the intention to keep this open to everyone. We don't plan on charging people to, you know, bring in an operating position. There's going to be no set amount someone has to pay, so it will truly be open to all. The intention for that is whoever steps into a role doesn't then waste all their money on, you know, purchasing the operation of that business, and instead it can be fully dedicated to a successful running, and therefore its viability for the long-term future.
Okay. And run it for both parties.
Yeah,
Short-
for both.
Shortly put, it's about the business plan. You know, each citizen that wants a business has to put in these plans, and you know, we want to look at them fairly and equally. Yes, some bias, but you know, not all bias is good bias. So I mean, you have to find the good and the bad. and look at each business plan equally. We don't want to really look at it biasly because we want to give everyone an equal opportunity to be able to own their own business. Because they have a vision for it, they have the goals that they set for themselves, and we want to see each business owner succeed.
All right. Also, to add on to the question previously as well, how would you handle it if somebody weren't running the business properly? Say, if it even was a good plan somebody put forward and it's still your friend, would you give them more chances to keep that job, or would you just tell them straight up like you would do anyone else?
Like I said, we want to keep it fair and equal. Now, we will be doing monthly audits, as we did state, and whether they're friends or not, we need to make sure that these businesses are making the proper choices to ensure that they are running a proper business.
Smart. Good answer.
What was that?
I've already answered the question.
Oh, we're all good then. Next up.
He didn't answer the second
Hello,
part of
is
that
this
question,
thing
but okay.
on?
Yes.
Hello. So my questions for both parties.
It's gonna be coffee.
Coffee's basically a daily necessity for Mosientos, and from what we've heard, the reason sales are empty is because import tax at the docks got pushed too high, so suppliers stopped bringing the beans in. So here's my question. Are you gonna lower or remove that dock tax to get coffee flowing again? Because I'm about to crash out. And what's your plan to make Sir Bean machine in every corner store has stocked with coffee and the prices are not gonna be crazy
I
for us
knew it.
regular people?
I knew she was gonna talk about coffee.
So, on the wider standpoint as well, in terms of just import fees, as well as coffee, I think the intention is for these restaurants to all have their own unique availability. So whether that is a cafe in the future, whether it's a bean machine or something that's familiar that fully focuses on coffee, that's an option, or whether that be a sit down restaurant that focuses on the fish. What I will do is I'll pass on to Larry here, who's just going to go into a bit more details about our policies and decisions
Hobby,
around
do you
that.
want to let people go?
Hopefully
I've got
you
a
can answer your
question.
Hello there. Yeah, so obviously
No,
as
no,
the
mine-
Department of Transport, I also go over the different gas stations all the way around, which have their own 24/7 store. I do want to widen their range of products that they sell whenever there is no businesses available that may sell those goods. Obviously, right now they have their skateboards and their little plushies that everybody loves. But then obviously when Burger Shot's not open, it also has their sandwiches and the drinks. I want to widen those ranges so people get more variety in their daily ingestives. Because obviously we can't have a burger shop fully operated and managed on every corner, but we can have a 24/7 with more stock. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Yes. So,
I didn't say anything.
sorry, stage ready. Man, this is
Alright,
so
go.
terrible. I'm very sorry. I'm extremely nervous,
Give it
and
to me,
I
bro.
hope y'all don't want to see.
That's okay, Nate. It's just coffee.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's not just coffee. We export and import a lot of different things. So we need to make
Yeah,
sure
but yeah, but yeah,
pricing
but-
is being fairly. But we also have to look at the statistics of everything, right? We definitely want to make sure that the people are getting the imported things that they need, and make sure that the people bringing these in are also being paid fairly. We can't lower the cost too much, but we need to make sure that we are financially able to export or import these things in.
Okay. So what that means, Echo, no guarantee of coffee.
Thank you.
Thank
Next
you.
up.
What a dickhead! Wow.
Already crashing out from the coffee.
I will cut you off if it's too long.
Can you hear me?
Go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'm probably asking a question that you guys have no control over, but I'm going to try anyway. Can anything be done about the quality of food that you get from, let's say, a restaurant or something like that? Like longer lasting freshness or anything of that nature?
think that, to be fair, that's a question that neither of us would really know the answer to. Of course, we can try and, push for it, but there's nothing that we can really guarantee on that front. I think Harry as well could corroborate us on that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I'd also agree on that.
Okay. Yeah, I just figured, it gets a little tough. Sometimes you're out there working and you go to eat because you're hungry and, well, you can't eat it anymore. Makes you sick. So I just figure I'd check on that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a fair point, but unfortunately, the parties don't manage the manufacturing of any of the food.
Okay.
Next up.
Need to turn microphone on.
Turn your microphone on.
Eat your fur diet.
There we go. Sorry, Sean Scott here. My question is for both parties. My question is basically, what is the one most challenging thing that you think you and your party is facing, and how would you go about resolving those challenges?
Okay. I mean, we'll start here. I think the main and the biggest challenge that we're facing right now is the unknown. We're fully unknown of the economic situation. So, should we be successful, we'd be stepping into a kind of an unknown void, right? We'd be stepping into that without the knowledge of what do we need to survive, what does the city need, can we keep everything funded as is? To try and mitigate this, we've already been discussing with members of PD, members of the emergency services, Boundaries Farms, about their product, about how many people on duty at what time, their salaries, so we can kind of get a rough idea of what our outgoings and incomings are on a smaller scale. So that way, when we do get into office, we've already got some numbers that we can base off of, just to try and make things a little bit easier, and to ensure that by, let's say, given a rough estimate, by the end of the first week, we're in a fully self-sufficient, viable situation, and we've got a large amount of data there.
I think the most challenging thing is going to be day one. We're going to have to hit the ground running. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of different tasks. Ultimately, once we get everything in place and look over everything, we still have our day-to-day operations, of course. But day one is going to be a big task, and like I stated previously, we're a team. We'll attack this as a team, help each other out, and make sure that we are doing what we need to. But day one is definitely going to be a big test to make sure that we're setting the right foundation for the city.
All right.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Just on your numbers, Harry. 228 hours in PD since the start of the month.
Yeah, I spoke to some officers earlier. I think there was about 4 EMS, about 5 PDs. So it was looking like about 200 grand an hour at the current rate being spent on salary.
Damn.
Next question.
Right. So this is a question primarily for the People's Body, but in regards to the farms and boundaries and the exploitation of goods, how can we make sure that you are not just going to export goods from your own foundry, being a foundry owner yourself, and that you're going to fairly
He doesn't own a foundry.
kind
Neither
of
of
share
them do.
around that sort of exploitation service so that everybody does make money and not just yourself.
Like I stated previously, I want all businesses to succeed. As well as mine, yes, but to do things to benefit me is not really my goal. And, I want to make sure that we're benefiting this city equally. I don't plan, or actually, there will be no chance that I export or lower cost or raise cost, for my sole benefit. I'm not that type of person. I want to see the city fully succeed, and I think it would be very irrational of me and very selfish of me to put me over the city, the great citizens of this city. My deputy mayor would like to say something, so I'll let him have the mic.
Oh my god, they're gonna be here for hours.
Good afternoon. In short, my intention, one of the things that I'll be doing as a portion of my office is ensuring that we have a rotating schedule if it is necessary as far as who it is that we're purchasing goods from for the sake of exporting. And we are going to balance exactly what kind of prices we'll be willing to pay for product for the sake of exporting to make sure that there is not another business that is making more money than another. If someone, however, comes up and it's their turn on the schedule to export something, and they do not have their products prepared, we'll do the best that we can for them. But if it's necessary to export through the next business that comes up in said cycle, say that way everyone gets an opportunity. We'll be doing it around a clock, no particular schedule, something along the lines of we start here and then we go to the next one geographically from east to south and then south to west and then west to north and so on and so forth in a circular clockwise pattern, something to that effect. If that's not going to work, we'll find another way to do it. Simple.
As a small follow-up question to that,
hang on, we're gonna go with the other party.
I know it wasn't kind of directed towards myself, especially since we don't own a foundry. I just think one of the major things to point with this, kind of tying into a previous manifesto.
Harry, you need to turn microphone on.
My microphone is off. Sorry. Yeah. So I know we don't own a foundry, so it's not the exact same question you asked to us. But one of the major points to note is we will be bringing on someone to manage the importation and exportation for these foundries and farms. From the sounds of it, yet again, it's something that we don't know going into it, but there isn't a limitation to the amount that can be, imported and exported. So we will have a set list of prices that are released. And, at any point, any foundry owner or farm owner will be able to export that through either the individual that we will be bringing on, or our department of business. So we got two options there that will be available to every single foundry and farm at any point.
Okay.
Sweet. So the small follow-up question was, are you planning, this is for both parties, actually, are you guys planning on treating foundries and farms like they are businesses, not in the sense of a salary, but the fact is that it, well, I mean, maybe if you came up here, you could ask one yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm behind you. Hurry up.
That's your aim.
Okay. Well, so I don't talk while other people are talking, so I mean, it's fine.
Listen, I just
But
want
if
to
you want to talk so bad, you can talk.
Never mind, we'll continue on. Next one.
Mine's a bit salty.
Someone wasn't happy.
Pushing me. Press this button. There we go. Does that work? Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, gentlemen. Right.
evening.
I have a question. Now, you've said that you've spent the week talking to businesses and EMS, emergency services. But apart from before the first debate, when I spoke to Harry, I haven't spoken to either party, and I'm the director of EMS.
Ooh.
Okay, so my first question is, who have you been speaking to? I'd like to know who you've been corresponding with, because I'm in the dark now, really, of what's going on. And with myself being our director of EMS, how can myself, Harry the Commissioner, and all the other business owners in this city be assured that you can fulfill your duties?
Yes,
So
call them out.
I'll quickly start on that since we had already discussed prior to the first debate. So following that discussion, I spoke to Ty as well, and we'd agreed to set up a meeting between myself and the wider EMS, as well as this goes to PD. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from either of yourselves. So another EMS, and actually we did this a couple hours ago. We were able to get that meeting sorted, and there was a discussion held between myself and many members of the EMS department to get their feelings and to find out what what's going on with them. So, okay, although we were unable to discuss with you, I think that was mostly due to timing on your end and a lack of communication. Whereas that was okay. Maybe we could have tried out a little bit more, but we had tried to discuss with you. We did ask you to set up this meeting, and instead we had to go and we were able to sort it ourselves. Same with PD on this end. We are still yet to have that meeting with PD, but we have been speaking with several on-duty and off-duty members of both public services to ensure that we're able to keep up with these services. As we said, we got 3 members for yourselves and PD that you're going to be able to contact at all points. So that'll be myself, Harry, and the Department of Public Services. We've also offered you guys an additional person if you'd rather have someone other than Seth to be a direct point of contact.
Everyone wants someone other than Seth.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So you've got those options there, as well as
Damn.
then the public meeting system. So you're going to be able to see every meeting that we're having, as well as then introduce yourself into those meetings should you be concerned about that speaking point.
Excuse me.
I'm only joking, Seth. I love you, really. Nate's party.
Yes, you are correct. We have not had a meeting with the EMS this past week. I know we did have one short meeting with Ty before the first debate. I haven't had the time to reach out to you this week to get your feedback. Now, going forward in office, we do plan to have meetings very regularly to make sure that we're being transparent with you as a director, as well as Harry as PD commissioner, to make sure that we are meeting the needs of PD and EMS and allowing you to, be able to get the tools that you need to be successful. Now,
Good save.
as part of doing our job,
Good save.
Keeping the transparency in these meetings going, it is a very essential part of our job, making sure that you guys are trusting us, that we're meeting your expectations the best that we can. And ultimately, communication is key. Without communication, none of this would be possible. So, I mean, being transparent and keeping constant communication with you guys is something that we plan to do.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you both, and both of you, good luck with the election. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the next one. With this next question, I want very short answers from both sides.
Yelly, can you hear me?
It was a good save. You're right.
So, if the city had an official mascot, what animal would you choose and
Oh
why?
my God.
For a wee bonus,
A
can you
panda.
give me an impression?
Panda.
Oh, all right. I'm going to go first.
Red
I'm going to
panda.
go for a.
I love a panda.
I'm going to go for a turtle, all right, because it's very. It's very
What the
hard,
fuck?
It lasts a long time, and
What
they're
are you idiot?
prehistoric, mate. They're pretty cool. And
Okay,
my
make a
impression.
turtle noise.
Snap.
No,
That's what. That's the noise.
What?
Yeah, you go for
That
it,
is
Larry.
the
Larry's gonna-
shittest turtle noise.
You lost my vote right there.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's a tortoise.
There it is. You gained my vote back.
That's a tortoise, not a turtle.
Okay. Nate.
I'm still laughing about that. I would have to say
I should go basically try a cat or a dog.
an eagle. I would have to go with an eagle, because they
America.
are very, very important birds. A bald eagle, take it for instance. They are very important birds. Very, very great creatures. But at the end of the day, they take their wings and they soar through the sky. And that.
Okay.
That's something. Yeah, go ahead.
We want the impression.
Now for your sound.
And here we go. What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
I like it. I like it.
It's better than the turtle.
I think that goes
It is. It is better than the turtle.
Fine, I like it.
The eagle's the
Okay,
prize.
thank you.
do it.
Okay, next one.
Your turn,
Again,
Nate.
reminder.
If this is about plushies, I swear to God.
Hello?
What's your question? Is it about plushies?
No, it's not. It's actually serious this time. So it has been a couple of years since Ryan Turtle was mayor, right? And he's so partial part of sending to Bet Corporation. So my question for both parties is, what you gonna do to prevent Bet never show up again?
Definitely, that is a very good concern after what we've previously endured.
That is a good
now,
question.
We don't plan to let any corporation like Bet or any other named corporation that is in a like with Bet take over or own any part of this great city. We don't want to, we definitely don't want to repeat history, and we will take extreme precautions to make sure that things like that don't happen again.
All right, and yeah, and obviously I want to touch on this as well. Like Nate said very well, we don't want history to repeat itself. But if we do have to bring up the history, I think we have a better experience with Bet than anyone will ever have. Just to talk for obviously me, Mr. Wolfenstein, and Callahan back there, both good and bad. Just to remind everyone, Bet are the people responsible for getting us to the moon. Bet are the people who were responsible for getting us to Japan and the Nürburgring. We had a lot of stuff that was good, even the whole Sandy rebuild all the way back then, before it got blown up by the nuclear reactor. There was a whole, the
I smell a
was
Bet
renewed,
sympathizer.
everything was renewed. But to quote on that, we don't want history to repeat itself, so we're definitely gonna keep a way tighter leash on that. And I think what happened in the past was a get-together of circumstances of a bad person at a bad moment in time getting forced our hands. Obviously, at this point, that will not happen. I mean, look at both parties. I don't think if any party would be the one that eventually becomes mayor, Bet will be able to have the same amount of influence.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Right, your turn, Ralph.
Hello, it's to Nate Jones' party. There's two
I've got
questions.
A professional question.
Let me just pull my note. Yeah, nice shot. Well, I've like listed it out here. So you basically said in the first debate that you were for the people and you were looking to keep a fair price above all businesses. But from day one, your prices have been astronomical for very simple products in your Mega Mall. What's that crack about?
I answered that.
Why is he asking for him?
As you were here in the first debate, I did address this in the first debate, and we have looked at our prices, and we definitely have to look into it. We already did, and I already answered this question in the first debate.
Can you just summarize it again for me? Does my father want to speak on it? If you don't know,
prices were examined. We looked into it. We are a new business.
Ralph
right?
bringing up
we all
old
are
shit.
New business owners. So we set prices at what we thought were good. Obviously, they weren't good. So we adjusted those prices based on the people's concern, and we corrected our mistakes.
Okay, that's fine. And the second question is I've heard a lot of people talking about dodgy deals with Kendrick. Now, at some point, you have been affiliated with him.
Oh
and
my God,
Kendrick's Kendrick. It's a bit dodgy. Now, I know he's got some connection with a foundry. Now, what's stopping Kendrick from completely buying all your stock regarding your batteries? Because I'm pretty much sure a couple of days ago, you offered me a deal what were very nice and very reasonable to take to keep profits in foundries. And what stops other people from not coming to you for these sort of deals? Because your deal's what you're putting in your shop, and nothing compared to what you were going to offer me. I was saving like $70 per battery.
It definitely wasn't $70 a battery.
Well, it was $100, and you were offering me at $30 a battery. And I said that's too much because I can make them myself.
That's because my batteries are $30.
Well, they are now, but 2 days ago there wasn't. So what we're asking, is what's stopping Kendrick from buying all your batteries at buy price and putting them in your or his foundry?
Probably because he doesn't work at my mall. He is not able to change prices. He has
Okay, I don't mean you. I'm not saying your mall. I'm on about your or his foundry.
He is also not a part of my foundry. He does not work for me at all. I'm not affiliated with Kendrick in any way. I know back in the day, over a year ago, we did have some connection, but I'm no longer affiliated with Kendrick.
Okay.
He's answered this already.
Thank you.
Several times.
Excellent.
Your turn, Angel.
My question is, how can you guarantee that a different operator gets a business instead of the same operators previously?
So I think looking into this is fully a blank slate. So we're solely going to be basing it off of their business plans, how viable that business is, who's actually put the most effort into it, what makes the most sense in that standpoint. So we're not going to look at oh, you own the previous one, it makes sense for you to own this. If they've got experience, of course, that does come into
This guy.
play a little bit because they'll have a bit more information about how they run. But at the end of the day, the restaurants run completely differently. The mechanics run completely differently. You know, there's many people working at Burger Shot or the mechanic now who are doing great jobs. So it's all about who comes to us with the best business plan, who's come to us with something that's more viable, and we work with myself, the deputy mayor here, the Department of Business Development, as well as then it's a public forum. So if there are any outside sources as well that want to weigh in, that will also be available.
Experience is good, but looking at each application fairly is very important because we want to give everyone the same opportunity that those previous business owners had. You know, we want to treat it fairly and make sure everyone gets the opportunity to do what they dream of.
Appreciate it.
Next.
What's up?
Okay, is this thing on? I have a question. Would it be possible to institute a lottery?
Yes or no from both parties?
I think it's possible at some point, right? Probably not
Yes or no, Harry?
instantaneously. Yeah, at some point.
I don't want to promise anything that I can't keep, but
Yes or no?
I would say yes at some point it is possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next. Our final one.
Okay, so I have a question following up Angel's one. So with the people being operators and they going, off the city for a month, like a year, 2 years, what are you gonna do from inactivity standpoint?
So we've already discussed one of the intentions we're bringing in is a business lease system. So those owners will be paying X amount a month. If they fail to meet that, first off, has grounds for just immediate termination and resetting the structure. But at this point, operators are operators; they do not own the businesses. So if they fail to run the business appropriately, they're not putting the time in, then they will be removed. We will have communications with both the employees, but external customers. Everyone will have the right to come voice their concerns with us. But if someone's inactive, the business is no longer viable, or they're not paying their due business leases, then those are all signs that that person is not fit for that business, and they will be removed.
Okay, Nate.
We will be doing monthly audits on each business. We definitely don't want to kick someone out because they had a bad month. We'll definitely look at our monthly audit and determine, if this business is right for this person. If they had a bad month, it happens.
Awesome.
It's all part of business. But monthly audits are going to be our strongest thing to ensure that these businesses are being running properly.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, closing statements, both parties.
Yeah, so I'd say, guys, tomorrow is the start of a big weekend for all of us. So I hope every single person that's here, whether you're voting for Nate or voting for myself, please do go vote. I hope you've heard enough today. If there is anything else you want to talk about, feel free to find myself or any of my party members here. We'd love to answer your questions, but make your vote count. Ensure you bring someone in you genuinely believe is right for the city and will genuinely set us up for such a great future. I can't thank all of you for sitting through this enough. You guys have done an absolutely amazing job. You've asked some difficult questions, and hopefully we've answered those to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. We have both the challenge of and the benefit of a fresh perspective. The other party's experience is beneficial to them in some ways, absolutely. But I believe that with the changes that are coming, a classic but functional ideal on how to make this great machine that is our city run properly. We have the potential to be hindered by that. I believe that consultation from the other party's experience could help guide, but a clean slate and a brand new way of looking at the world as it changes, that presents the greatest opportunity for success. Comes from a party that is more inclined to hear the people over the sounds of their own way of thinking, That's our party. That's the People's Party. I would also like to give you a word of the day, which is insanity. Which means doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Thank you.
Clever.
Okay. I appreciate both parties coming out. I appreciate the citizens of Los Santos coming out and asking your questions. Voting will open tomorrow for 48 hours. And then when voting closes, we will be announcing the winner. No, it's not. I've already talked to the Supreme Court. So, 48 hours. And then we will know who the new mayor is. No.
I do want to say that it's not actually the definition of insanity.
Closing statements.
Harry, I would like to wish you the best of luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Seabreeze Dome is now. Please.
Please leave the dorm. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, that wasn't too bad, actually. Hopefully they'll do the lottery. That would be cool, honestly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dome is now closing. Please proceed to the nearest exit. You will be locked inside. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
That EMS guy just took a fucking whole ass nosedive. Damn teenagers and your skateboards. What the fuck? God damn. You already got 3 limbs replaced. You trying to replace your skull?
I got a ride.
I'm waiting.
Why does it look so green? Oh, it's just this area.
Wow.
Sorry, excuse me.
Jesus Christ. Let me wait. So these fuckers get out of the way so they don't die.
Hey, boss, can I get a ride?
Where you headed?
Legion's fine. I don't care.
Yep. Oh, shit. Hop in.
Thanks, man. Unless you need to go get something to eat or whatever, I don't care.
No, I'm good. I'm going to take you straight to Legion, and then I'm probably just going to take a nap.
Gotcha. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. I'm hoping they'll
Maybe
do the lottery that I suggested. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that they really answered my question.
Yeah, they kind of dodged a lot of the questions by, like, roundabout rhetoric, but that's politics in general, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just, like I say, I asked them what the greatest challenge that they were, as you know, facing them as a you know, as a candidate. What's the greatest challenge facing them and their team? And basically, I kind of got a loop around, and it wasn't really answered. But
I mean, to be fair, I get where your question's coming from, but there's no real way to know that because, well, I mean, Harry's party would know that, but Nate's party wouldn't know that because they've never been in office. You know what I mean?
well, I mean, you can always come up with something. What are they gonna? Well, I've never been in office, so what our greatest challenge is that we don't have the experience. Like,
yeah,
that would
that's
have been
true.
an answer.
Yeah,
that
that's
would have been a
true.
fucking answer. Just fumbling around isn't an answer.
Yeah, that would have been a good answer, actually.
I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, you know, like that when I ask a question, you know, fumbling, bumbling, and spinning and putting me on a spin cycle isn't answering a question.
Yeah, it's true.
And both parties did it, so.
That's politics for you, brother.
I know. But at least it was a question.
It's true.
Unlike requesting weird things, you know.
I think that's why they started telling him go yes or no.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Yep, have a good one.
Yeah.
I am hearing no game sound effects, and I know why. And it's because I did this shit right here. Which is why the game sounds super quiet right now. There we go. There we go. Alright, so that is going to actually end the stream. I wasn't planning on being live for too long today. I have stuff I got to do. Things I need to attend to. I'm actually just going to kind of sit right here. Alright. That being said, I do appreciate you guys for joining me. You guys are the absolute freaking best. I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next one.